Welcome back to Peril Pending, where today we're asking one simple question. Who in the world is Zia Yusuf? Zia Yusuf, or the most famous party chairman ever. Seriously, do you know who the party chair for Labour, the Greens, the Lib Dems is? I don't. Maybe I should. Well, who is he? Because he wasn't elected by anybody, and it doesn't appear that he is a director of the Reform UK Limited Party. So today, we're going to dive into an article by the independent journalist David Hollis, or as you can see on screen here, the Receipts UK on X. And we're going to see just how far the Zia Yusuf rabbit hole goes. The BBC has published an investigation into Zia Yusuf, the man who holds 50% control of Reform UK, alongside Nigel Farage. Before we get into what the BBC found, is worth establishing exactly what Yusuf's position within Reform actually is. It's odd that these questions haven't been asked sooner, considering how often he's on the telly. He is not an MP. He is not a director. He resigned as director of Reform UK Party Limited on the 5th of June 2025. He has no elected office of any kind. He is not a paid employee of the party. He is a 50% guarantor of Reform 2025 Limited. Company number, and there's the company number. In a company limited by guarantee, the guarantors hold ultimate control. A director at least carries legal duties and accountability under the Companies Act. A guarantor carries control without those formal responsibilities. Yusuf holds the power without even the obligations that come with a directorship. Not a single one of the 268,000 members who pay £25 a year have ever voted for him in any capacity whatsoever. And this is quite odd coming from Reform. I thought they were the party who didn't like unelected bureaucrats, who didn't like the elites. It seems they're chocked full of both. Former colleagues of Velocity Black, the luxury concierge business Yusuf co-founded and sold to Capital One for a reported $300 million in 2023, paint a consistent picture. Staff lived in fear. He showed zero empathy. The environment was described as pretty toxic. People were pushed to the absolute limits and were emotionally and psychologically affected. Not always by workload, but by the sheer unpredictability of his behaviour. Sounds like a great guy to have as the face of Reform UK. Nigel Farage himself acknowledged Yusuf's Goldman Sachs-like mentality. It meant that some found it difficult to work with him. Aaron Banks wrote that Yusuf struggled with relationships and people. Odd, then, that he is always the one that they ferry out to do talking points. But, I guess they could always ask Farage for a statement. Oh yeah, that's right, he's still hiding, because he's not wanting to take accountability for his £5 million gift. The article goes on to say in 2018, Yusuf bought a husky puppy called Apollo and brought it into the Velocity Black office. The dog was untrained. It would run around the office and defecate on the carpet. Former employees told the BBC that Yusuf was seemingly unwilling to clean it up. Staff found it so unpleasant, they posted about it on Glassdoor, with one writing, "Dog feces in the office every day. It is unsanitary and smells disgusting." Their advice was to ban the dog and get the office cleaned. That seems a bit harsh. I suppose you could just train the little fella. But once again, so he is an unelected bureaucrat millionaire who can't even pick up his own dog's shit. Sounds like the perfect person to have in a high position of government. The article continues. In 2018, a female employee told colleagues she had received a series of late-night phone calls from Yusuf, which she did not answer and which made her uncomfortable. She raised them with Yusuf's co-founder the following day, asking if she could work from home because of what she described as the Zia issue. In June 2019, several months after leaving the company, the same woman wrote to complain that Yusuf was repeatedly trying to follow her personal Instagram account, despite her rejecting the requests each time. She said she had already blocked him on WhatsApp. She learned she would take it further if it continued, and suggested others had been contacted in the same way. The BBC has seen messages between employees suggesting another woman who had recently left Velocity Black said they had experienced similar requests on social media. Though, of course, through lawyers, Yusuf said the accusation was false and that he had employed someone to manage his social media accounts during that period. Who does that sound like? Oh, it wasn't me. It was a staffer who was using my social media account. Who might that sound like? That person told the BBC he did the work as a paid hobby, that any repeat requests would have been inadvertent, and claimed that while Yusuf retained access to his accounts, he did not use them. I guess I'll have to take your word for it. This is the man who holds 50% control of a political party with 268,000 paying members and 1,444 council seats across the country. He was not elected by these members. He cannot be removed by them without 134,000 of them writing to the chairman. He has no formal accountability to anyone. Once again, Reform UK are not here to help anybody. They are only here to help themselves. Zia Yusuf is quite clearly an unelected bureaucrat trying to dictate legislation for the United Kingdom without any mandate from anyone, not even the people that support his party. And here he is, recently calling himself the Shadow Home Secretary of Reform UK. Zia, the Shadow Home Secretary, that's a position for the opposition. You are not the opposition. That is a position held by an MP. You are not an MP. Reform UK is for millionaires, billionaires, and unelected bureaucrats.